The Slingshot system. This is an old favorite of mine, and it can capture entire market moves, just like this graceful breakout here, and a nice take profit area at the very top of the swing. Now, this is just an indicator, so if I pull up the strategy backtest results for this, as you'll know, there's no backtest results, so we don't actually know how it performs long term. Now, I just did a nice cherry pick of this swing right here, but if we go further right, there's a little bit of chop here. There's some longs on the bottom and shorts on the top with these red triangles. Now, how will this actually do when we crunch the numbers? So I'm going to do a full audit of this indicator, convert it into a strategy, and automate it really simply, really easily, so that you can do it for yourself for this indicator or for any other indicator for that matter that you like. You can do this for your favorite indicators and your favorite creators. So if you like this kind of content and you want to see more of it, click the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. This is the strategy that we're going to work on today in today's video. So the Slingshot strategy, there's a cloud here, as you'll notice, I can open up the code by hovering my mouse in the top left portion of the screen, clicking the source code, and there's a lock button. So the first thing I have to do, here's all the code, is click these three dots on the right hand side of the screen and click save as. I'm just going to click just save it as a copy. That's the default. And now I have it saved onto my TradingView account. So anything I do to it, I can save. It saves all the versions here. This is just version 1. And the first thing that I'm going to have to do, you got to make sure that it's in version 5. So this doesn't have a version declared. So I'm going to assume it's in version 2. So I'm just going to add that right in. There's the very first line of this script has to have a strategy or a version declaration. So I'm just typing / at version equals 3, and then as soon as I type that in, the little light bulb pops up. So if I click that light bulb, convert to version 4, it automatically will update, and I'll click that light bulb again to get to the most recent version of PionexGPT. So now we're working in PionexGPT version 5, and I'm going to close off the original copy. We're working on our new copy here, so I'll just add that to chart. Now that this is updated, the color is updated a little bit in version 5, but everything else is identical. So now that we're working on PionexGPT version 5, the next thing that I want to do is to update the first line here. This is on line number 4. It's indicator, so I'm going to convert that to a strategy. I'm going to add in commission and a few other things, so just one moment. So I've changed the first line from indicator and I've changed it to strategy. It's bolded as blue, so it's understood that this is the strategy declaration line. And I've got USDT as the currency. The initial capital is 100, and we're investing in % of equity. And the default is going to be 100% of equity invested into the strategy with a commission value of 0.05. So that's just the default template that I use. If your exchange uses different commission than 0.05, then you'll have to update that. And now that I've got this set up, now I can scroll down, and the thing that I'm looking for is what is causing the strategy to enter a long or a short, and there might be a few things here. So if you aren't sure, then I'm going to paste this into chatgpt, and it's going to explain the strategy for me really quick. So I'm going to hit Control A for select all. I'm going to hit Control C for copy. You can also just right click, copy, and make sure you copy the full thing. And if I head over to ChatGPT, what I'm going to be using is the PionexGPT version of ChatGPT. It's optimized for trading strategies. So I've pasted the full script here, and I just want to ask PionexGPT, just please explain this strategy code for me. So now that I've asked it to explain the code, it's quickly giving a summary. So the Slingshot strategy shows both aggressive and conservative entry points. So there are two kinds of crossovers for that, and it's going to be faster or slower exponential moving averages. That is the cloud that I was showing you, this cloud here. So there's two exponential moving averages. So these trend arrows on the chart are going to be on the top and the bottom. And it's interesting how Pionex knows all of this. It knows exactly how this works. There are these arrows And you can ask ChatGPT to explain any strategy code for you in simple language so it can help you understand how this all works. I'm going to add in a stop loss and take profit. So once I add in that template code, I'm going to add in some template rules. It'll build off those rules for me. So once I add in that template, hopefully there's less work for PionexGPT to understand exactly what I need it to do for me to give me some working code. So if I head over to the Trade Tactics Discord, the link for this is down in the description. I have all the setup guides, and it's a huge learning community, so you can head over here, and this is the template code right here. So if I click download on this code and I open it up, this is, I'm just going to expand this. So this is going to change the game for you. This has the this is stop loss code, take profit code, and this is just a sample. So this is the Bollinger Band strategy. So just a sample, and the snippet of code that I need is right below the fills. These are the plots. So these are just plots here. This is the strategy code. So I'm going to take it from here and I'm going to copy all of everything down all the way down to the bottom. Hit Control C for copy, or just right click copy or cut. I'm going to head back to Trading View and I'm going to paste this below everything. So now I have this snippet of code, and there's the backtesting range. It starts at 2022. I'm just going to change that to 2000. I want to see all the way back. And the last snippet of code that I need is up at the very top, and it's just show trade. So that's just the one that I need, and I just can place that anywhere up at the very top. I'm going to place it right on line number 5. If I hit save, I think there will be one error if I hit save. It's going to be the long entry right here. If I scroll up, there are the custom plots. So these are the characters. Where are the arrows? So there's an arrow here. So there's a buy entry here, a short entry here that I can see. So the co-diff, the S1 and co-diff. So that is going to give you a buy entry. And it looks like there's two here. There's a conservative arrow and a non-conservative arrow. So there are two kinds of arrows on your screen. I can use either of these to enter. So S1 and PA. So if I hit Control Find, I can also ask PionexGPT what is S1 or PA. So I'm just going to do that just for an example. So I'm going to ask PionexGPT what is SL and PA in this code in natural language, and what do they do? The quick and short summary of this is SL stands for show B and S letters, and they display the actual letters B and S on the chart. And PA stands for show conservative entry arrows, so it displays the arrow on the chart to show entry signals. So exactly these arrows right here, that's going to give the character for PA is going to be the conservative arrows. And if I scroll to line number 9 or line number 10 and 11, they're either true or false, so I can display the arrows. So right now the B and S is not displaying. I could open up the settings and just show the B and S letters, and they'll display on the screen. I don't need those right now, but I'm going to just use the conservative arrows just for an example here. So this whole line of code looks a little bit confusing, but just to explain what's happening here, if you have the checkbox activated and co-diff is true, so that's going to be the bullish arrow going up, then it will display this arrow, and if not, it won't do anything. So there's a little title there, there's the color and all of that. That's not really relevant to what we're doing. All we need to know is that co-diff is going to be our long rule. So if I just copy that and I head it down to the long entry right here, that is our little long entry. So co-diff right there, and then if I head to the short entry, then all I need to do is look at co-diff 2. So it's going to be right there, and I could scroll down and paste it right there. So that's the short entry. So if we have a long entry, the strategy here, it's going to plug it all in. If it's in the date range, so the custom backtest range, which I can show you in one moment. Just gonna hit save, but I think there might be one conflicting variable here, the SL. There is two, so I'm just going to change one of these really quick. So there's two conflicting variables, SL. Now I'm just going to change one of them to SL2, and that should be taken care of. So that was just the true or false box that comes up here. So I was just changing the variable for that. That's irrelevant to what I'm actually doing on the strategy itself. So if I hit save, there should not be any errors here. Let's compile it. And there we go. There you have it. It actually works on screen, and as is, strategy is 18,000% profitable. I'm on the FXS USDT chart on Binance. 30 minutes, 36% drawdown is a little bit high, but we have 750 total closed trades. Now, if I click a deep backtest and go to the first available day, just doing a quick scan of how it's working, 31,000%. Now, just the default settings too. So that is not bad. I'm actually a little bit surprised that we got such a good performance summary. There's a couple more stats here that I can go through. So the open profit and loss, it's in a 5% trade right now live. So it's in a short currently all the way down. It's catching this whole drift all the way down. It didn't exit the trade here, didn't flip over. It almost did, but it stayed in, and there we go. So we got a strategy. Let's check out some other time frames. The 1 hour, let's see if it's still profitable. There you go. 54,000% profitable, and that's compounding again. I'll just show you what that means. So if you aren't compounding, now if you go to properties and you type in right here, this is the percent of equity. So if you change that to USDT, then that means that every order will be 100 USDT. The initial capital is 100, and these are the results here. So 761%, and the graph is not as exponential. It's a lot more it's a lot more gradual, and the drawdown is also less as well. So again, not bad. That's not bad at all. If I go up to higher time frames, still okay. It's still looking okay. Now, a lot of people want strategies that work on the lowest possible time frame because they like to have more strategy entries. Now, if you go to a smaller time frame, let's see if it's still feasible. I'll just change it back to percent of equity, although for automating it, I'm going to just have to change that again, so it's a little bit important. So on the 30-minute chart, what were we at on the 30-minute? 18,000%. So benchmark is around, I think the 1 hour was the best performer. If I go up to the 2 hour, yeah, it starts to come down. So 1 hour is the benchmark. Now, if I go to the 15-minute chart, 98%. I don't know if this one is going to work. I'll do a deep back test just to be sure. It's good. I mean, like, it's not, I mean, this isn't a professional strategy. Again, this is just right out of the box. So I just converted this right now. We don't even have a stop loss configured. Again, we can optimize our stop loss. I would just click this box to enable it. Let's just say I set the stop at 2.5% and the take profit at 5. So let's enable that and see what the results change to. And it's it's not the best down on the 15-minute chart. If I go down to the 5-minute sniper bot, let's check out if this is going to work. No. So disable that take profit stop loss. Does it change anything for us? No. So this strategy, I think there's just too much chop down on the lower time frames. You can see this right here. This is going to be long short, and it's going up and down and up and down. So too much chop in this. Although on screen here, this looks pretty reasonable. I mean, look at that. A long, and then takes a short, and then boom, another long. Oh, and a short right there. So again, maybe if there are some filters on this, The lower time frames like this is going to destroy this system here, long and then starting to go down, and it just doesn't perform well in this little grid. So let me plot that on screen just to highlight those weaknesses. This is the weak area right here. So looking at the chart here, it just seems to do okay. There's little spikes up, but most of the time it's just going down. So I would keep going up time frames to see where this system is most manageable, where there's less chop. There's still chop here, but this system looks like it's managing it okay at least, and then capturing some of these bigger moves in time before it burns itself out. So in those lower time frames, keep in mind that's going to be the thing that brings that drawdown up. Now I can go ahead and share this strategy script. I'm just going to share it, the Slingshot system. So I'm going to place this Slingshot system into the working scripts category in the Discord, so anyone can come through and you can take a look at these. Some of these are beautiful. There is in scalping screeners, there is the Sayinator, and there's Gold Digger bot. Now a lot of these systems I haven't vetted or checked, so you got to do your due diligence with them. If they're using heikin-ashi candles, those can repaint that means it's inaccurate in terms of whether the strategy works in real time or not. So if just to show you an example of what I mean, there is 18,000% profit on this here on the 30-minute chart on FXS. If I change the candlesticks on this to heikin-ashi, or any of the other non-standard ones for that matter, heikin-ashi though, it's great to trade on in real time, but for bots, look at that 3 million%. That does not work in real time because the recalculation of it, and if you look at the TradingView documentation, it says that it's unacceptable to use heikin-ashi for bots for backtesting your trading system. So always rule number one, always use regular candlesticks, and make sure that you are careful when you are running new strategies like this one, for example. Don't all in your account, and you want to just put in a nice little test system into place. And you can also tune this strategy as well. So there's a stop loss take profit. You can change the trade direction to long only or short only, and you can change the backtesting period to see how it performs in more challenging markets. So now I'm going to automate this strategy on Pionex. I'm going to do it in a few very simple clicks. So on Pionex, once you're logged in using the referral link down in the description, you're going to get access to a bunch of premium strategies for free. Head over to trade, and there are, just going to scroll down to the very bottom, and there's signal bot here. So I'll click create TradingView custom signal. This is what you want to select, and the signal name is just going to be Slingshot bot. Now once I click continue, there is a tutorial video here, and the tutorial is fairly straightforward, but I'm going to show you exactly what to do here. So there's a little checkbox here. You can't continue until you select that checkbox. Now what it's going to get you to do, I'm going to set this up on the 1 hour chart. It's going to get you to modify the strategy settings to be compatible, so that there's no incompatibility with your settings. So what you need is to have initial capital 100, base currency USDT, order size 100 USDT. Commission should be 0.05. That is Pionex. Pionex has lower commissions than other exchanges that I've found. And then you should save as default. Now once that's saved and you're happy with the results on screen here, look, that is some low drawdown for such an out-of-the-box strategy that I'm just doing as a example for you guys today. Now that that's set up, you can create the alert. So I'm going to select the condition. It's going to be the Slingshot strategy. Now the expiration is that's the expiration. I have it open-ended because I have TradingView Premium, but you're going to want to select the date most in the future that you can. So you can select date most in the future,
And if you don't have an open-ended alert and it's going to expire, make sure you write that in your calendar a few days before. Gotta remake the alert. You can't, it's going to expire. And if you have an open trade, just keep in mind that you might not be able to close that trade from automatically. You're going to have to manually override it if your alerts aren't firing anymore. So I'm going to delete everything in this box. I'm just going to give it a name, Slingshot bot, and I'm going to generate a custom message. So once I have clicked set the default settings here, this is the tutorial video. It's really simple and straightforward. It's going to generate this right here. This is my custom webhook URL that I can paste in. So right here is the message and all the parameters. So if I hit copy on that, there's another tutorial video just to set that up. But all that video shows is creating this alert. There's 2 alerts on the screen here. I'm just clicking the top one here, right up top. There's also an alert panel on the right hand side here to manage all your alerts. Once you paste in that message and click outside of the box, there should be a green check mark. Now, if I type anything in here, I'm just typing a random key. If I click out, oh, it's still green. Let me just see this. There you go. So if you don't have it incorrectly, it's going to give you a warning. Make sure that you have the green check mark just like that. So I'm just going to make sure that I have that all in correctly. I'm just going to paste it again. And if you're sending crypto transactions to yourself, if you understand how crypto works, then you know how to copy and paste correctly. Just make sure that it's all correct. Otherwise, it will not work. If it is not exactly like this, you're not going to get any trade signals. And the second thing I need to do is paste in the webhook URL. So if you copy this webhook URL here, paste it in, you're not going to be able to if you have the free version of TradingView for this. Now, if you sign up for TradingView, I have a link down in the description for it. You get a bonus kickback. If you sign up halfway through the month, they offer a 60% off discount coupon. So just if you're interested in sending signals for bots, automating your own systems, all you got to do is sign up. It's free to sign up for a 1-month trial, and they'll offer you a discount code halfway through the month. As far as I'm aware, at least the last time I checked, that still works. So once you enable that, you can set your webhook URL and hit create. And now it's going to pop up in the top of my screen here. There it is, the Slingshot bot, and it's active. So once I have that here, I've finished setting up the alerts. I'm just going to move on. There we go. So I have these signals configured, and now I can activate the bot. So I'm going to choose a trading pair, and this was for the FXS coin. And the investment just has to be over $50. So I'm just going to put, it said a little test bot, just $50 is the bare minimum. Once the bot starts performing, I might increase it. If it doesn't perform, then I might pause or turn it off and look at what the market conditions are. Maybe make some amendments, delete the alert, and remake that alert. So if I make some amendments, all I gotta do is come over to the indicator here and just pause, which is stop here, or delete. I can pause or delete this from working, and I can also go into my Pionex system here, and I can pause these. I can stop the bot just by clicking right there. So you can see all the trades. The signal, if I need to update the signal parameters, that's the same thing always. And there it is. It's really that easy to automate any strategy. So I think that's about all the links, the Discord. I've got Patreon signals as well, Patreon scripts, and some open source strategies for you guys. I am really happy for all the new subscribers, all the new faces that I'm seeing around the Discord. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and be sure to like the video. And I got a bunch of other cool videos, including other tutorials. I'm going to show one on the screen right now if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.